That was terrible. Nice. Normally that would have actually gotten me the middle, but I playing full screen is an adjustment. That time it got me there. Okay. See your speed. You like didn't change at all. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Ooh. That's bad. Okay, it's fine. That might be a risky squash, but this is 7, next is 8, I can cherry 9. Or just give me this, that works too. Might have to cherry 9 anyway. I have to cherry 9 anyway. This is a good start. 234, good. Dude, dancers and 4 cones? The best I can hope for here is to not get any cones. Or to hope the dancers don't come in the final wave at all. Both are, like, not good scenarios, though. I need to wait here for a little bit more sun, just in case something does spawn there again. Nothing spawned there. Here. Yeah, there. That's a secured second gloom. Let's get some firepower going. Oh my goodness. This pumpkin, like, immediately got fried. That's not good for it to be basically always under pressure like that. This is good. This is good. Okay, I actually am getting dancers. This is good. Keep giving them to me, please. This is way better. Kill this guy because he's probably my biggest op. Actually, it was this guy. Interesting. This is gonna be terrible. Thanks, Coneheads. Welcome to how 4 cone works in this game. Yeah, I actually did get lucky. Fast first flag, bad second flag. Really bad second flag. Oh! Actually, this might help me out here. Right. Gloom immediately. Like, gloom now, because I wasn't able to get the 3rd gloom out, because I was getting repeaters out instead. Almost immediately, get the sunflower down. How is there 3 coneheads and a 1 conehead preview? Thank you. I got a lot of... Are you serious? Don't do that. Leave it, please. Not gonna plant any more sunflowers, I think. One more. Just one. Not addicted. Kappa. That's bad. Ooh. It's not bad. I forgot. Blooms are broken. Actually, something else that's more valuable here than the gloom shroom is this torchwood. Something that's really valuable here is using the gloom shroom so that I can strategically cherry bomb later. I say as I don't cherry bomb at all. This is safe, but it's not fast. Hey bud, can you, like, die please? Really appreciate it. 141. Okay, this is gonna be so slow. I don't actually need this. I need this magnet. I have all 5 torchwoods. And almost all the repeaters. Chill for a bit. One more repeater. I'll get a faster donut. Faster donut. Literally like the slowest one that I could have actually asked for. Yo. Give me something that's sponsored. I'm pre-planting it, other than that. I'm pre-planting it because I need to get this stuff. Next one is at 9. You're the slowest. At least 5-5's gonna be fast as balls. $140 again? Oh nice, you give me buckets at the very last second possible to give me buckets. I don't need glooms. Scared of glooms. Glad I planted this one then in advance. Maybe should have used some of the extra sun that I had to plant. Actually type in the link answers. This was a terrible level. I guess 930 is not that bad. Not much to say here. I guess I can explain kind of my thought process. This might, I don't know, this might turn into a small guide, I don't know, of how to do Survival Days IL specifically. This guy's really slow, so I'm just waiting. You can choose to plant the imitator past 4 sunflowers or past 5, it doesn't matter. This guy's too slow, so I'm gonna use the dance command to make him faster. There we go. Too fast. Still too fast. That's fine. I'll work with that, even though it looks no different than what I just got. This is bad, actually. You shouldn't do this, because I'm supposed to gloom here. But, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but it's probably not going to matter. This guy's gonna get hit. I'm actually just gonna plant more sun. Because of this mine. Yeah, okay. So I'm hoping that a coned goes here before I have to plant the gloom. If it goes here, I just have to shovel. Okay. There wasn't even a coned, so I do have to shovel anyway. This mine is not safe, but I still think it's worth planting. And I think it just dies. Yeah, it does. So, just shovel it, get rid of it, no reason to have it. And lets this guy get to the mower a bit quicker. So this is 7, pretty sure. Just saw this wave come. This is the first wave with 3 wave points. This is relatively slow, but it's okay. This is a fine example. This is 8. So wave 8 coming in with a relatively. And then wave 9, which you can choose to cherry, or you can choose to squash and wait for the gloom to kill the normal guy. I like to cherry because it's faster. This guy is a bit slow, but he will get there by the time the thing is over. I am gonna have to dance a little bit though, just to actually get dudes on the screen here. And you can light that doom a lot earlier than you think you can. And 240 is fine. Like, 240 is about average for me. This is like a relatively okay flag to get early on. 3 cones and 1 dancer is... Generally, you don't want to see more than 3 cones in the second flag, but there's not much you can really do about it. You kind of just have to play it out, so... If you see it, just accept that it's going to be a bit of time loss. And don't forget to use your squash. This will be a little bit of time save here, because this guy is really fast. So I will actually get a tiny bit of time save there. And then here, you can start planting repeaters wherever you need firepower. And then keep getting sunflowers out. I suggest sunflower here for beginners, and I also take it just because I prefer it, but you can choose to drop it for something like jalapeno if you want to go, I guess, a tiny bit faster, marginally. Getting a bit of those out, and then here we actually have to get the gloom out. And this is why I'm planting the extra sun, because the extra sun for the gloom stream is helpful. You're just kind of collecting sun, waiting, planting down firepower whenever you can. This is good because there's no cone this wave, so it's actually quite nice to get at least 1 or 2 waves of that. This is wave 9, so I'm gonna actually cherry the cone. You can choose to, you do have the option of choosing to save the cherry, but for me, it's like, the dancer does lose a bit of time, but I'm already losing time to this flag anyway, so... And this might happen sometimes, where you don't even get the dancer in the flag. So here, we actually do want to just start prepping for the next wave. 142 is really good. Okay, here we bring magnet, obviously. Okay, and that plant selection is just kind of natural. This is what you generally bring. If you don't have magnet, or if you don't need magnet, then you drop magnet for something else. Jalapeno. Doesn't matter really. I like to start with my magnets in the center, and then move to these other 2 spots. At this point, it is going to be a bit hard to get the magnets out as fast as the buckets are coming, but it's still doable now. If you were on something like flag 5, it'd be basically impossible to get as many magnets as there are buckets. So now that I have 4 magnets available, I'm going to get my gloom stream down, because the gloom stream's been on cooldown for about 10 or so seconds, so might as well get it now. You don't have to worry about buckets eating your glooms because you have magnets, and if you don't have magnets, then you messed up. Now, the next thing is to pumpkin this gloom, ignore this gloom a bit, and then, well, don't ignore it. Put a torchwood there, but for the most part, you're just gonna let that do its thing. This is wave 9, so I actually am gonna... Well, you should squash the Vaulter in that situation, but I kind of just didn't. I do have the squash for the final wave, though, which is nice. But it really is just kind of a balancing act of choosing what you want to plant, when you want to plant it, and what's actually the most valuable. Don't forget to cover the Doom's weaknesses. If you don't cover those bases, then people will get, some zombies will get away. Or buckets, so we do the same thing, same select, same everything. Next flag, I'm not going to have to take Torchwood because I'm going to have all the Torchwoods. And I will make sure to get a repeater there as well. If you plant a Torchwood without a repeater behind it, it's not a huge deal, just plant a repeater behind it later. Whenever you get the chance. Again, just kind of ignore this gloom. It's pretty safe with a repeater, Torchwood, and 3 gloom protecting it. So you don't actually have to worry about it that much. This gloom at the top is actually in much more danger, so pumpkining there is much more of a reasonable decision. Again, here as well, in the middle, your gloom is technically safest in the middle, but it's about the same safeness on the columns 2 and columns 4 as well. But for this case, I'm going to be getting a Torchwood in the middle because their Torchwood doesn't have one yet. There's not one there, so get one there. And then you're pretty much good now. This setup will carry you till the rest of the till the end of the level. I'm just gonna make some minor improvements to it wherever you can. This is a cherry. If you were good at the game, you recognize that a bit sooner than I did. I'm obviously good at the game, but not that good, I guess. And there's a dancer here, so this is a bit sad. Gonna wait a bit of time here. Hopefully these vultures don't actually eat the Doom. If they did, it doesn't matter. It got cleared out really quickly anyway. Whatever. You should be looking at something about like this. This pace is actually quite nice. Here you're gonna bring Imitator Doom. You're gonna bring all of the normal stuff that you would bring. Drop Torchwood though, because you don't need it. I bring Gloom stuffs because I bring the stuff to make Glooms just in case I lose one in this 5th flag. You don't have to, because if you do lose a Gloom in this 5th flag, it is a time loss. So it's up to you whether or not you want to just take the time loss, or if you just want to try to recover a little bit. After the point that the gloom is gone, this is wave 2. Make sure you're counting these waves, by the way. Wave 3. Once the gloom is gone, you can't repair it. Or pretty much you're just gonna be time loss at that point. 5. Okay, that's good. It actually grabbed the bucket. 6. Grab the bucket. Nice. So we're gonna have 7. 7. Okay, good. We're gonna have 8. And then we're gonna have 9. Shovel your glooms at the end here to make sure that they don't get in the way. That's pretty good. And that's like that's a good example of a survival day level. 9-12 is incredibly good. That's actually like quite a good time. And I'll cover some more situations here because I'm playing the level 10 times. If your rake spawns in the middle, just go 2nd row. I mean, you can also go 1st row, but it's a bit easier to manage with 2nd row because you do still want to put your sunflowers in the center. If you don't want to put your sunflowers in this, if you don't put your sunflowers in the center, you're kind of just asking to be, you're just waiting for a zombie to, you're basically glooming top is what you're saying. I like to keep my options open and go middle, but it doesn't necessarily matter in the grand scheme of ILs, just getting a run that works for you. If this strat works for you, then by all means do it. Here what I'm gonna do is, because the zombie is bottom, and I went in the wrong row, technically wrong row, again, I'm gonna plant this mine in the middle, and just kind of hope that something goes here before I have to glue. This is gonna be a squash, but not a squash like immediately. It's gonna be a wait a bit. Now we squash. Now we wait. If a cone spawns top, it's just sad and you have to cherry. Cone didn't spawn top, so that's okay. Cone might spawn top now. Never mind. Okay, we could just wait for the sun here for the gloom. The biggest problem here is actually the fact that I'm a bit scared of the gloom's health. That's actually a bad mine. Don't plant that mine. Okay. Wave 7. This row 2 guy, or row 4 guy is way too slow to get to the mower in time, so I might end up having to cherry him. This is wave 8. Not cherry him, squash him. I'm gonna use the squash now so that I have it back for the final wave if I really need it, and a 9. This I can just wait for the gloom to kill, so if I really need to, I can cherry this guy now. This is gonna be relatively slow for a first flag, but it's still okay. So, yeah. There, I'm doing something called dance tech. You don't necessarily have to learn it, but if you want to get like a really fast time and like go for something kind of risky, I guess, you can do it. You just have to type in dance like really quickly 4 times in quick succession. So you light the doom, then you type in dance 4 times really quickly, and it gets you a little bit of a faster doom. It doesn't save that much time, so if you're a beginner and it's hard for you, just don't worry about it. And you might want to try to integrate that a bit later. Don't forget to squash. Always remember the squash. The squash is your friend. The squash is a good friend. This is actually a really good start. There haven't been many cones. There's been like 1 or 2 in each wave. There's 2 here, so I'm gonna repeater on 1 and wait. I am gonna instantly plant this pumpkin because again, your gloom is safest in the center. Especially whenever you're starting out like this. Like whenever you're starting off with some stuff like this, I'm gonna instantly plant this pumpkin, replant it there. That might have been a mistake here because of this guy. That gloom is basically dead, so nothing is allowed to touch it. Well, it's gone. And that just happens sometimes. And that is a time loss, but there's nothing I could have done there. The gloom is safest in the middle, but it's not perfectly safe, so just, you still have to be careful. I have to squash this way. And the losing a gloom can distract you from something like that, where you need to squash a wave and forget that it's wave 9. That was a bad flag because I lost the gloom. This is going to be a bad flag because of... Well, this isn't going to be a necessarily bad flag, actually. This can be a good one if I play it right. Let's get the coffee bean on the gloom there. I am going to instantly plant this pumpkin again on the middle gloom this time, just to ensure that it is locked in and doesn't go anywhere. I do have to get magnets out now because there's buckets, and the buckets will lose time very much so if you don't have magnets. Again, magnet for the bucket. The bucket is going to chew a little bit because of the wait time on the magnet. I can squash this bucket, and you can generally squash a bucket if you find that you're struggling to get magnets up, or just are waiting on sun for a magnet. Generally, I'm going to instantly plant this pumpkin to get it off cooldown, and I'm going to plant a torchwood down here in order to help that one out. Again, here, right here, there's a bucket head escaping because I haven't been planting enough magnets. The magnet got the bucket eventually, but I'm still going to have to plant a repeater, I think. Never mind. I actually lied. Look at that. There is a donut there that I'm actually going to cherry because I have squash, so why not? That was a really long wave 9 for no reason at all, other than the fact that corpse HP kind of screwed me. You can chill with 3 glooms for a pretty good long while. Usually I have a 4th gloom by now, but I had to get magnets out, I had to get repeaters out. It's a big ordeal. Again, here, I didn't do the dance tech. I still got a fast doom, so. So you really don't have to do the dance tech in order to get a fast gloom, or in order to get a fast doom. This is actually a really good wave, and I'll explain why in just a second. Okay, so basically there's no cone heads in this wave. And what that means is that there's no cone heads at all, which are really slow. Cone heads are the slowest thing in this category by far. It's not even close. All I have to do here is make sure that I have enough magnets to get all of the bucket heads so that I don't have to wait on anything. And I'm basically going to be doing that for the entire level, or the entire flag of this stage here. And protecting glooms, getting glooms out, you know, all that stuff. You generally do want a second flag to be a newspaper flag. It doesn't always happen, so it's nice whenever it does. It's about a 1 in 5 chance, if I remember correctly. Again, here, the biggest problem are going to be the metal zombies and the vaulters. The vaulters are going to waste a lot of time if you don't, like, insta them on wave 9, which is next wave, actually. So, for example, here, I'm going to do this, plant a squash, this, shovel, doom, not doom, squash, torchwood. And then this is a very fast flag because of the fact that there were no cone heads. And again, here, light the doom, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your faster doom. Ever so slightly faster. Again, 133 is basically a perfect flag. You can get 132, but that requires a virtually instant wave 9. Generally, again, you take Imitator Doom here, but I'm going to show off not using Imitator Doom here. So there also aren't any dancers, so taking Imitator Doom is less justified. Because, well, actually, no, it's more justified if there's dancers. Never mind. It's more justified if there are dancers, which means it's less justified here, technically, but you can still kind of get screwed over here if you aren't careful without Imitator Doom. But I've done this plenty of times without Imitator Doom. I've gotten some really good IL times without Imitator Doom. You don't really need Imitator Doom. And practicing the selects to get it fast enough to be worth it is a thing of itself. So, yeah. I do have to focus here a bit, so I'm gonna do that. Next wave is 8. And then the next wave after this is 9. And I'm gonna try to cherry something here. Looks like it's the bottom because there's a cone down there. Squash this. Okay, I didn't need to squash it, but again, this is muscle memory. You don't actually have to shovel the glooms here if there aren't any dancers, but I do it anyway because of muscle memory. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds here. Again, dance. There you go. And that's an in-between level, like a good level, but not a fantastically amazing level. I do need to buy rake here, so let's go buy rake and do that. That seed select will come with time. Don't be too stressed about it. What else is there to talk about? I haven't gotten a newspaper second flag yet, so I will show you that whenever that happens. Whenever that happens, you do go pretty hard on the firepower, though, because you can pretty much instantly clear all of those waves, and you have to deal with whatever gimmicks the game throws at you. It's just the gimmicks and the newspapers then. So you are focusing on firepower in order to kill the newspapers as fast as possible, and then you're focusing on either magnets, squashes, something like that, to deal with whatever gimmick zombie you get. Okay, because this actually spawns top, I am going to be glooming in the 4th row, so I'm going for a bottom doom. This is not going to pay for itself by the time that dies, so that's actually a sad sunflower. But we have 10 sunflowers here. You can go for 9. 9 is generally the amount that I go for. I just planted an extra one because I planted this one here, and so this one's not going to pay for itself by the time it gets up, so. I am going to actually do something a bit unique here. Normally this isn't the case that you do here, but because of the fact that I do need a bit more sun in order to secure this gloom, I'm going to plant a bit more sun, or I'm gonna wait, plant the squash in order to help me wait on this pumpkin, because the pumpkin on the gloom is very, very important early on. The mower kill doesn't always happen, but the mower is not even for getting a mower kill, really. If you get a mower kill, it's bonus, but if you don't, then don't sweat it. Because now you have a potato mine here, which is protecting the one row that your gloom's not protecting, and all you have to do is keep in mind whenever the manip is up. So basically, next wave, it still can't spawn here. Okay, and then this is wave 8, which means I'm actually going to squash this. And wait for sun. And then it can spawn up here this time, so I am waiting here, but I'm going to cherry the cone head. I could have actually waited on the mine there instead of spending all the sun. But, you know, I will have the sun to actually afford the doom. I pretty much always do, if you're always planting sunflowers throughout the level. Here it is. I messed up a bit, but it doesn't matter. That's the great thing about Dance Attack, is that it generally doesn't matter. 245, relatively good. I didn't get a mower kill, so... Okay, nice, let's go. Alright, I actually am really excited to explain this. Drop Torchwood, because you don't need it. Don't spend that much time in the seed select, by the way. Just know what you need to bring, and bring it. If you don't know what you need to bring, then you need to figure out what you need to bring, and start bringing it. Here, it's pretty simple. You just do a quick pumpkin in order to lock the gloom in, so that you can just not have to worry about the gloom getting destroyed. Here, we're gonna need those glooms, and we're gonna need these magnets. So let's get these magnets out, and some sunflowers. So basically here, it's literally just waiting for the glooms to get the rule, and then dealing with whatever gimmick. So I saw vaulters, I think there were dancers, vaulters, and footballs. So here what you do is you get out magnets for the footballs. I have cherry for the dancer in on the final wave. And then I have squash for a vaulter on wave 9 or something. This is why you have the magnets, because otherwise that wave would have taken 18 years to get. And then you're gonna try to get a third gloom out, which is gonna happen here, right now. And then plant the pumpkin here. That was actually a really weirdly long wave. So generally the best thing here to happen here is for the dancer to spawn bottom row. It didn't spawn bottom row, so I am going to be waiting a bit on the final wave. And there it is. Okay, normally that's faster. I messed up though, like a lot. So just imagine that that's like a 130, like 5 or something. It wouldn't be that fast, but it could be if you get really lucky and get like only... What did I bring here? Oh, I brought sunflower. Oh well. It would be lucky if you got only newspapers, because then you'd not have to worry about the dancer, you wouldn't have to worry about the footballers, you wouldn't have to get all the magnets out, you could just focus purely on getting out repeaters and torchwoods. And you would bring torchwood. Yeah, I didn't bring torchwood here, but a little bit sad. Again, here, I'm gonna protect this gloom. Uh-oh. You can generally squash to actually save this gloom, if the situation calls for it. Here, this gloom might be dead. This gloom is dead, yeah. Ooh. Not quite. Almost dead. Not having torchwood here is actually really bad, because generally you want to be able to start torchwooding on these in order to save them from coneheads and stuff. But because I don't have torchwood, I kind of can't do that. So again, bring torchwood. Don't forget stuff. It's important to have torchwood. Torchwood does a lot in the long run anyway, with getting rules and stuff. That was a relatively fast flag regardless, so I'm pretty happy with that. Also, generally, wherever you doom, for your second flag, you want to gloom in the opposite place. So here I've made a mistake, but it doesn't matter because all normal zombies are spawning up there. But for the sake of the video, or for the sake of the guide, I guess, you do generally want to doom somewhere and then plant the gloom opposite where you doomed, because then you'll be able to squash in the spot that you didn't gloom in. Again, I kind of autopiloted that seed select, but I brought everything that I need, so it doesn't matter. Here, we're going to be getting up a couple more magnets in order to secure the bucket waves. so that they don't actually waste too much time. I think I saw dancers in the preview too, so I have the cherry bomb for that. I am actually probably going to shovel the middle gloom in order to do that. And here I'm just going to start planting torchwoods now at this point. There is a strat where you do only column 6 on the torchwood. That is completely and utterly up to your playstyle. This is 6, I believe. 6, yep. And it's up to whether or not you even want to do that. So you can choose to do that. It gives you more room for magnets, which is hypothetically better, but you don't have buckets every single wave all the time. And here, we're gonna have... I'm not gonna use the cherry here because I kind of have to save it for the worst offender, which is going to be here on the final wave. Which is going to be, I'm gonna cherry really early in order to catch the dancer. So, okay, if there was a dancer there, then it would have taken up a lot of time to actually kill it. Instead, I decided to cherry early just to make sure. That's a 134 flag, which is really good for no newspapers. And here we're gonna go ahead and just grab all of this. Squash is overrated in the last flag, unless you're shoveling like 18 glooms. But also I shouldn't have brought jalapeno, but instead imitator doom. But again, like I said, imitator doom is not really a beginner thing, it's more of a advanced thing. Once you know how to grab it, then you can use it for wave 9. This is wave 2. This is wave 3. Wave 4. Next, this one. This one's wave 4. Wave 5. Wave 6. Wave 8. Wave 7. What the hell? This is wave 8. And wave 9. So yeah, quickly analyzing the situation is always a good thing to find the best wave. You actually are able to plant the coffee bean a bit earlier than that, too. This is like a 135. 134. So far, so good. Don't need rake quite yet. Alright. Okay, so again, middle rake, go second row. You could choose to go either second row or fourth row, but it will only matter if the spawns punish you for it. And if the spawns do punish you for it, there is still a way around the problems. So like here, if I get a spawn top row, then I will actually be rewarded for my play instead of punished. But if I get a spawn bottom or fourth row, which is more likely, then I will be punished for my play. Let's see. And I'm rewarded. So here, I'm actually able to gloom bottom, which is really good, because that's where the manip is not going to be. So you want to let go of one guy, find the manip, wherever it is. So it's going to be, for example, here, it's going to be top. So find the manip, grab 9 sunflowers, get your gloom out in the opposite direction of the manip. Here, it's actually kind of annoying, because the zombie spawns exactly where I want to put my gloom. And I can't plant my gloom yet, so I'm actually going to plant the squash to kill it, because it's less likely that a zombie will spawn there now. Okay, and here, I do want this gloom to shoot immediately, so I use the coffee bean first. Generally not a good idea, though. And I'm going to try to stall this guy out a bit. And I'm going to plant a potato mine here in the minute row. And this guy will probably get away and use another mower later on, which is perfectly fine. By the time he gets to the end of the lawn, we will be done. I was able to delay the pumpkin a lot here because there was a lot of stuff going where the gloom wasn't, because of that initial spawn, like I said, where it was less likely for something to spawn there because of the fact that the zombie spawned in the gloom row. This is a good spawn. We wait here. And here we can squash. I might actually have to cherry this guy. Okay, yeah, I will choose to do that. This is a slow first flag, but a slow first flag almost always means a pretty fast second flag, because you have more prep out, you have more sun, pretty much more resources in general. So if you are getting slower first flags, then just know there is something out there for you to strive for still. Here it's going to be a bit sad, but I do have the hope of newspapers. So I don't actually have to bring magnet, and I can bring something like torchwood, repeater, and sunflower. Sunflower is less generally important, but still pretty important. Like, if you want to use not sunflower here, you can, pretty much. Sunflower is just the pick that I like to take because I like having an abundance of sun. Like a lot of sun. Okay, here we're actually going to start planting repeaters, like, immediately, because Gloom is off cooldown. We don't have anything else to spend our sun on, and our Glooms need protecting. So, oh, again, case in point, this is a very good example of why we needed the repeaters. These pumpkins are going to get ravaged by the coneheads, so we definitely needed the repeaters to help with that. And in fact, I'm going to double down on that and say we need torchwoods for the broken pumpkin down here. This is wave 6. Tell because the dancer spawned. Generally, if you aren't counting, you can use like little landmarks like that. This is wave 7. Actually, this is wave 8. Next wave is wave 9. This is wave 9. Welcome to wave 9. You made it. And I probably should have squashed that guy. But as you can see, the slower first flag did allow me to have a faster second flag with a 3-cone preview. As you can see, this is a 3-cone preview. But it was good. Pretty good. Relatively good. It was still slow, but it was relatively good because of the slower first flag. And this is just fine. Again, 3 cones is just bad. You can't do anything about it though, so you just have to pick plants and play. The best thing you can do against the 3 cones is to get out torchwoods and a gloom, actually, and for this, I'm actually going to be getting torchwoods out wherever the coneheads spawn, because the torchwoods are a little bit more valuable than the gloom shroom is, because of the fact that the torchwoods double your repeater damage. And the gloom is technically double, but the torchwood is more versatile. You can use it in more places. But you should be able to get out the gloom anyway, like I just did. And here I'm going to be able to pumpkin this, and I can ignore this gloom a little bit, like I said, a little bit earlier, so that you can get more stuff. Ignore the gloom so that you can not worry so much about it and not bring imitator pumpkin, because I see a lot of people bringing imitator pumpkin early on in order to early on in their experience in order to keep all the glooms safe all at once. But if you do it right and you time it correctly, you don't need it at all, which is really nice. So you can use that slot for something else like an insta. And there, if I was a bit smarter, I would have jalapenoed that. But because I have this top gloom and I didn't do the things that I teach, I'm going to jalapeno that top gloom, which will kill everything. There we go. And 140 is a pretty good for that flag. That flag was some pretty bad RNG. This is a good flag. But you have to be careful of Vultures and Dancers. So I have to save my cherry for the 9th wave. I also need magnet because of the buckets. I need to save my cherry for the 9th wave, or for the final wave, because the Dancers lose time otherwise. If you haven't seen it already, the Dancers will summon the backups off screen. The backups will then very slowly lurk onto the screen by dancing, and you will be very sad as a result of that. Alright, now I have enough magnets that I'm confident that I can actually hold off the buckets here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get my gloom out. And you generally try to do this while you're getting your magnets out, but it can be hard because of the sun deficiency, because you're constantly using your sun all the time. And here is wave 9, so I'm gonna find this doom. Shovel this gloom. Prepare the cherry, because I didn't see any dancers. There will be dancers here. Or prove me wrong, game. That works too. Yeah, that works too, I guess. This was almost a perfect flag, but it was held back by the bucket heads mostly. And this is flag 5, so we grab that. We actually do need gloom stuff, so we drop this and this, and we grab this. Because I have a gloom missing. I didn't need torchwood, so you could drop torchwood once you get 5. Instead of doing the weird plant select acrobatics that I was doing. If you're good enough at plant select, you lose like only a quarter of a second there, but I lost a little bit more time because I didn't evaluate quite right. I'm trying to explain things while I'm playing a bit hard. Cool. Again, count waves, but if you haven't been keeping track, then wait for the bolters. Okay, this is wave 5. You can tell because everything came out that was special. Like the dancer, the performer, the bolters. 6. And you can also look at the indicator as a very rough estimate. 7. Oops. That's bad. Now I only have 1 doom. 8. Oh, it's okay. There's no dancers in this one. 9. Generally, the idea, by the way, with that final flag is to... That final wave is to... The 9th wave there is to get the... Oh, there were dancers. I got lucky. The idea is to wait until you have seen the last conehead on the screen. Because otherwise you will be very sad because the conehead will crawl away from you. This is a really weird plant select. But that's because I went any % for a moment. And I visited the shop without needing to. That's like 2 seconds of just completely random time loss. Not completely random time loss, it's 2 seconds of voluntary time loss, which shouldn't happen because I lost track of how many times I needed to buy rake. This is the last time. I need to buy rake in the next one. And then I'll have rake until the last one. Again, here. Same stuff. In general. This actually we haven't seen yet. Once you do this, you're just gonna let this guy go to the mine. You're gonna let him die. I generally don't like to plant the imitator yet until I see the next zombie, which is here. So now I plant the imitator. And then I plant the mine here. Because it's less likely to go middle now. And I'm actually gonna dance because this guy's quite fast. And I want him to be a bit slower so that I can try to get him overkill, maybe. As you can see, I'm actually holding 8 sunflowers here instead of 9, which is... do what you will with that. But, this actually could be a mower kill, but I'm gonna not make it one. Because the mower kill would be a bit slow. The squash was a bit slow too, but not as slow as the mower kill would have been. Here I'm gonna plant a sunflower, take the opportunity the game's given me, because I'm free. I'm not free yet. Here, now. I actually think I can, yeah, I can fit another one. Now, it should, yeah, okay, there we go. This is 7. I'm actually gonna do something risky here. Squash this, because this is ready. 8. Okay, actually, it paid off regardless. 9. Okay, yeah, I don't have to use the cherry. I don't need to use the cherry, so I won't. If you get a mower kill there, you can actually get this first flag down to like 220-ish. But I'm mostly concerned more with consistency and getting this down to be a bit faster than my average, which is about 240-ish right now. This is actually perfect for Sun. This is 2 cones. This is actually a really good preview. You like to see this preview a lot because it's lenient on the cone heads. You don't have as many, and you have some newspapers that will come out, so. Again, wait for this first wave to spawn, unless you have 425 sun and can ensure that your gloom doesn't die. Here, I'm going to do this, because I know that I have almost 425 sun, which is enough for the gloom. Here, I'm gonna plant a sunflower, and just wait, because this rule is pretty quick. Here, I'm gonna plant a squash, because I don't want to wait anymore. I'm gonna plant another sunflower. And I'm probably gonna plant a repeater here, because the cones keep going in this row. So, you will have some troll spawns like this sometimes, where the cone heads will always be going, like literally case in point. Oops. That's bad. It's really bad. Oh well. Big time loss there because, well, obviously. It might actually be fine. I might actually be fine. If these next couple waves aren't ridiculously fast, then it might be fine. Here you could actually... Was that Fume damaged before? I didn't notice if it was. Okay, this is a squash. So, again, that was slow because... Well, that wasn't slow because I missed the Doom, but it was... It's gonna be slow because I don't have the Doom. Actually, I do have the Doom. Look at this. Ha! Ha! It was still slow because I missed a guy. Oops. Oh well. I mean, what? There's not much you can do there. I just... There is a lot I could do there. It's called don't freaking use the Doom early, but... Yeah, anyways. I should have been dancing there, actually, as well, so I made 2 mistakes. But again, that's a pretty good flag, too, for someone that's just starting out. Generally, the aim is, like, a sub 2 first flag for these, a lot of these, not sub 2 first flag. The aim is generally like a 2 OX first flag. But for day, it's different because you can get a really fast second flag. I am gonna jalapeno that. And I'm gonna gloom bottom. I'm gonna gloom bottom because I'm gonna doom bottom. So, I'm actually gonna plant story first because what the hell? Get that stuff out of the way so that I can plant a gloom. Gloom bottom so that I can squash up top, because I'm gonna doom bottom and squash up top. That is the idea. Here it's actually a bit tricky to see what's faster. Doing the vaulters, killing the vaulters is faster there. Oh, I actually have this doom spot. Why do I have that doom spot? I'm not sure. Oh, it's probably because my second flag was slow. I didn't do 4 dances there, though that's still fine. 145 there is like mid. I would say that this entire level is going to be a you know, pretty good representation of the average stage on this level. It'll be about 330 or 930-ish. Just my estimation. My very early estimation on how this could go. If I get a newspaper flags though, a couple newspaper flags, I could make it work. That probably was a squash. That definitely was a squash. I'm gonna pre-plant the squash. Nice. Nice. Yeah, make sure you use the squash before you get the gloom down. Otherwise, you won't be able to use the squash and it'll just be sitting there. Again, here, I like to put the coffee bean first. That's totally a preference thing if you can choose to do your gloom first. I don't think it matters that much. And here we're gonna wait. This is wave 9, so we're gonna see what the slowest thing is. Probably gonna be this double vaulter thing here, so I'm gonna just watch that. And I think I was right. So, yeah. You can also choose to doom here, and it will catch everyone, but things on the top and bottom will be a bit dicey. I just like doing column 8 because it's aggressive. And I should have planted the coffee bean a bit earlier than that. And I also should have planted this repeater up top instead of where I put it. Yeah, so getting 140 on this flag is bad at a top level. It's not bad in like a beginner level. Don't need glooms. Also don't need torchwood. But again, muscle memory is faster here than everything else, so. All you really need to do is don't even think really on the 5th flag what you're bringing. Yes, bring Imitator Doom, but getting out and getting into the level again will be faster than, for the most part, it'll be faster. If you can consciously think to bring Imitator Doom, I would say do it. This is wave 4. I would say do it, because if you can actually pull off the tech with Imitator Doom, this is 5, then you will be able to save time with it. This is 6. This is 7. Here, I'm gonna do something, a little trick that Haha does. This is 8. This is 9. Here, I can hold the jalapeno here. No dancers. There weren't any dancers regardless. There you go. And yeah, like I said, pretty mid-level. All of these levels are actually kind of above average for me. Whoops. Don't worry about messing up the seat select, it's perfectly fine. I lost maybe half a second to that. Whatever the time was that I spent clicking on the sunshroom to get rid of it, that's the time that I lost, which was, as you can tell, not very much. Obviously, you prefer to not mess up the seat select, but that's beyond the point. I haven't gotten any OX levels, 9 OX levels, or any even that are sub 8 pace, which is a little bit sad, I won't lie. Here, we have this guy here, so the actual optimal choice is to plant your sunflowers bottom and mine down there. So, I'm gonna do that. I planted one sunflower here because I was talking. But this sunflower will matter very much not if the zombie does go there. Actually, I did this wrong. I may have misinformed you. The actual right way to do it is to go up top and mine up there, because your gloom is not going to defend that. So if something goes up top here, I'm actually kind of sad. Okay, something did go up top, but it doesn't matter because there's 2 normals. Nice. Oh, hey, look, a mower kill. I can actually show this off. Nice. So here, the play is to mine up top, gloom, and then you're going to save sun, because you might need to afford either a squash or a pumpkin here, because very likely stuff will spawn in your gloom row. So, yeah. And again, this mine, very useful. Don't put it in the maniped row immediately. You have to wait a little bit. This is wave 7. This is wave 8. Okay, something doesn't go in the maniped row. I'm gonna dance a bit to get this guy. See if I can make this zombie faster. Dance again. And there's the wave 9. This is actually quite, this is a good way of showing off the mower kill, at least. It's not a fast first flag, but that's because this was not a 1 kill preview, so. Generally, if you're looking for a fast first flag, you reset the IL for a 1 cone preview. And again, like, this is average, like 240 is a good first flag. This is 3 cone heads, so it's like whatever. I'm actually gonna choose to bring jalapeno here instead of torchwood. And I'm gonna do a little bit of showcasing here. A bit of showcasing on the different strats. You could also bring not sunflower. like I've said earlier. You bring not sunflower and bring torchwood instead. This might actually be where the jalapeno is useful. Never mind. You could choose to wait on that squash as well, but I chose to do it because this wave's spawning now, which kind of means that the squash did help. I'm actually going to jalapeno this, because again, the pumpkin's getting ravaged. I don't have time for that. And if I can buy some time for the pumpkin to come off cooldown, then I will be in good shape. I'm going to plant a sunflower, because I don't have torchwood. I'm going to plant a repeater here, because this wave is going to be pretty slow, because there are edge coneheads, which are the worst coneheads. This wave's going to need a repeater as well, because again, edge coneheads. This is kind of really terrible spawns, actually. But that's okay. Here you can choose to squash one. I choose to wait for wave 9, because that tends to be faster in general. Get the gloom, and chill. Next wave. And yeah, this squash actually was way useful. Because as you can see, this is going to be a relatively fast second flag. Or where it could have been. Also, I have jalapeno to take care of this bottom row, which is a little bit cheaper than cherry. Just a tad. And I actually failed to do the dance type there, which is sad, but it happens. That was actually a slow for second flag. I don't know what happened. Oh, I know what happened, actually. It was called coneheads. So, yeah. Here, we're gonna have to take a gamble, because there's really early dancers. And unfortunately, these dancers are a bit too early for me to shovel glooms. So, sometimes you do have to do this where you either take a gamble of either dooming early, really early, or you take the gamble of dooming at all, actually. Well, dooming early versus waiting to see if there even are dancers. And this can be dependent on the spawn, so... That was sad. I thought it was going to die before the... That squash would have been really nice, actually, to get off, but... Didn't quite make it. It's okay. Alright, so, again, gloom bottom, where I'm going to opposite gloom. Okay, there is a dancer there, and I'm going to try to make a little bit of a prediction here. There's no dancer here. This next wave is wave 9. If there's a dancer here, then I might... Okay, this is going to be a moment where I'm going to try to not do this. But if I see a dancer in row 2, I'm still going to prep the cherry here for it. No dancers, like I said. It can be a bit based off of the spawns and intuition there, but... Generally, if you see more dancers during the level, and then you won't see the dancer in the final wave. Which is actually kind of weird, because you see every other zombie, like every other zombie appears in the final wave, aside from the dancer. From what I know, the dancer is the only one that doesn't appear sometimes. So there are occasions where you won't have to prepare for an extra dancer in the Doom, like the Doom department. You won't always have to doom for the dancer, but sometimes you won't see any dancers, so you know that one's gonna spawn in the final wave. A bit of more of an advanced thing than a bit more of a like a spawn RNG thing than an actual mechanic. But it just tends to happen in my experience. So. I am actually gonna pumpkin this gloom because it's seeing a lot of coneheads. I'm gonna get another magnet out because my magnets are a tiny bit dwindling. I mean, 4 out of 6 isn't terrible, but 2 out of 6 isn't terrible, I mean. But it can get worse if you're not careful. This is obviously just a slow wave 9 because of the fact that I don't have the tools to deal with all of the things. It was just a lot of coneheads, really. Thankfully, Torchwood is designed for that. I didn't get Walter's wave 9 though, so that's really nice. But again, that was a fast doom without the need for dance tech. Oops. Ooh. This is going to be a case where I actually take... where I actually utilize all of the magnet spots and maybe a tech, maybe a small tech that I haven't talked about yet, called magnet replacement. We'll have to see how many actual bucket heads spawn. Okay, that's a good amount of bucket heads. But once you run out of magnets here, the point is, the idea is, once you have, well, once I get actually running out of magnets, I might not need to. But the point is, once you run out of magnet uses, you can shovel a magnet and replant it in order to get a faster just magnet in general. Small side note. Small side note as well. I think I need to... Okay, no, I don't need to buy rake. Oh, this actually has potential to be a really good level. Small side note, dancers can only spawn in the middle 3 rows, if you didn't know. So, I think it spawned, like, second row and middle most of the time, the rake. The rake has spawned, like, second row and middle a lot. Why are they dancing? Might as well make you a little bit faster to get to the rake. So here, I'm actually thinking about consciously the fact that there is a 1-cone preview. This means that there's going to be less cone heads in general, but for the most part, it means that you're going to see, like, a cone head, I think. You can see more than one, but it means that you're going to get more normals than you are cone heads, is the idea. So I'm actually planting my sunflowers wrong here. Slightly suboptimal. But this is all the sunflowers I'm going to need. This is 9, so I just wait. If a zombie spawns here, I'm going to squash it. And move on. Here, I'm still going to squash it, actually. But I'm going to plant the gloom first. And see if I actually have the sun to get the coffee bean. Because I might need to get the pumpkin before the coffee bean, which is a little bit of a weird play. Ooh. Never mind. I don't have to. As long as I get done. Ooh, that was close. Here I actually am going to plant the potato mine on the Maniptero, because squash is coming back relatively soon. And a zombie just spawned there, so it's less likely that it will spawn there again. But one thing to keep in mind is that this is double normal. This is mostly going to be triple normal stacks. So, here, for example, I don't have to actually kill this guy because there's 2 other guys. That's going to be 50% rule. This is going to kill like, basically the 1 cone head that we're going to see. The next is going to be a triple normal stack, I would imagine. And if not, I'm going to cherry regardless. Okay, yeah, so here it's really simple to deal with. This was slow because I didn't get a mower kill. You're supposed to generally get a mower kill, but that's if you're doing, like, full-on, like, IL attempts. Like, I would reset this really hard because this is too slow for the IL. Generally, you want, like, 230 flag ones. But since I'm not doing IL attempts, we keep it. This is actually the slowest first flag, which is ironic because of how the prospects of it being the fastest first flag. So, sometimes it can lie to you. I don't actually know a lost time there. Yeah, I'm unsure. Maybe it was the cone head going to the mine. I had to wait a bit for that to happen. This is actually fortunate because I got the cone head in the middle. I can plant a couple sunflowers here and not be scared. Wow, okay. They're saving the cone heads for later, I guess. Yeah, you do. There's still only 1 cone head this wave. Okay, there's the cones. Yeah, there's the cones. Again, you can plant repeaters in response to cone ends until your gloom comes off cooldown. In which case, I'm actually gonna plant this pumpkin immediately because of the fact that 2 cones are on these pumpkins, and then I'm gonna plant this gloom. That is awful. That is really bad for the pumpkin, like, the health of the pumpkin. Again, I planted the pumpkin immediately because of this situation. Exactly, actually. Because the pumpkin's coming off cooldown. This guy's gonna die last. Obviously. Because there's a repeater on this guy and not a repeater on this guy, so, yeah. Again, if you come out of this with a 3rd gloom, some extra repeaters and whatnot, then it's good. I'm gonna change this bottom row. And again, there's a fast doom without the dance tech. So you, again, really, really don't have to do the dance tech. 150 is actually a pretty fast first flag, or second flag. So, again, there's an example of a fast second flag in response to a slow first flag. So if your first flag is slower, don't worry, because your second flag might be faster. So just keep that in mind whenever you're running. This is terrible. 2 magnets out here, I can't focus on the gloom. This happens a lot, by the way, where you can't actually focus on the gloom because you have bucket heads coming at you at a high rate of speed. So this can happen sometimes with RNG sets where the spawn of the bucket heads is just really frequent and not as optimal as you'd like it to be because there's going to be too many bucket heads for you to get magnets out of. We have 5. Okay, we have 5 already. Which is actually fast, so that's good. 6. The bucket heads are fast. You just have to have the magnets for them. If you don't, then you're sad. 7. This next one's 8. Yeah. And I think I can save this. This is 9. Not a cone. No cones on wave 9. That'll work. Here, I still didn't listen to my own advice, and I gloomed up top still, even though there's a crater here, and I can't actually cover it. It doesn't matter, because... Oh, it does matter. It doesn't matter. Almost matters. 138 is a really good 3rd flag there, actually. So, I was right, it was quite fast. I'm glad it was fast as well, because there was a bit of sadness in that first flag still lingering from my days. But, of course, because this is a 10x run, you're going to see all types of RNG. You're going to see the bad RNG, you're going to see good RNG, you're going to see pretty much every type of RNG. You might not see world record RNG, but you will see every type of RNG. Generally good, generally bad, and also in between. Which is about what this is. This is kind of like in between good and bad. The first flag was bad, the second flag was good, the 3rd flag was good. I am gonna get pumpkins out in response to a lot of what I'm, or not pumpkins, torchwoods out in response to a lot of what I'm seeing, mostly because of the fact that I was a magnet knockoff yet. That means I don't have enough magnets, which means that I need to find another magnet. Well, the flag is over. So I guess I don't have to plant another magnet. I am gonna plant another one here though. Before, preemptively. As a pre-plan. So that was me failing the dance tech. I think I lit the doom too early. 134 is still great, a 4th flag though. This is gonna be a relatively fine 5th flag. Whoops. See, now I don't think it's worth it to actually bring the Yami Doom because of messing up there. And I should have brought Magnet as well. But assuming that you bring all the things that you need, you shouldn't lose Timer. This is why I should have brought Magnet. Because now I won't have all of the spaces filled up by magnets, and I can't do my little magnet thing. I have magnet tech. I only have 5 magnets to deal with these bucket heads as well. This is also another justification for the Torchwood thing. In order to get more magnets out, but in my personal opinion, I've had experiences where it's not as useful to do that. And it's more useful to get the torch widths further up so that you can fit another repeater in these top and bottom rows. Because the top and bottom rows are the ones that struggle the most. Of course. And I'm not getting that many buckets, I'm getting a lot of footballers, so that's really good. Love to see footballers more than you love to see buckets. Basically instantly died. Well, that guy lived. Dodge. At the doom. And this will be a decent day. Ooh, shoot. I did not prepare for that at all. So there might be like the dancer actually got caught in it. That's good. That 5th flag was bad. You should be consistently getting like not that, basically. Another 1-cone preview. Let's see if we can get a good example of a 1-cone preview here. A good example, as in it's fast. I haven't had a very fast first flag. I think I got a 2-3x in one of my earlier attempts, but I didn't get one much later than that. So I kind of want to see if I can get one here. And it kind of just happens. It's not always going to happen, so that's why ILs are all about grinding and seeing if you can make it actually work with you. I want to see where this guy spawns. Okay, because it spawns there, I'm going to gloom here, so I'm going to plant my sunflowers here. And then mine here, obviously. Obviously, because the sunflowers are also here. You want to protect the sunflowers as much as possible. Genuinely, one of the more... one more sunflower, that's generally fine. You can also just plant another, if you want to. This actually... Mine might actually die here. I think the mine dies here. It does, okay. You have to squash this. This is sad, but you have to squash it. If something spawns here, then it's really, really sad. Okay, something didn't squash this. Something did spawn there, actually. Here's a situation where you do actually have to pumpkin before you plant a gloom. Which is sad, but it does give me... This is not a good first flag now, by the way. Because of that whole spiel. Even if I get both of these mower kills, it's still gonna be slow because it's already 150. So, oh, and this is even worse. Oh wow. Yeah, this is gonna be really bad. It might be awful, actually. 6. You plant the mine here now. 7. I'm gonna try for this mower kill really hard, but I'm not gonna be that surprised if it doesn't get one. Wow, it could have gotten it, but I let it go just a bit too early. That's on me. Yeah, this is a 5x, I think. So this is the worst first flag by far, I think. Well, not by far, but it is the worst one. An example of the duality of 1-cone previews, I guess. Because usually they're really good, but sometimes they can be pretty bad. That's actually not the worst one. Ooh, this is good though. And because I have so much prep out, I'm actually great here. So, in fact, sometimes it's better to get the faster. I think there were buckets. Yeah, I remember there being buckets. That's why I grabbed magnet. I also grabbed magnet for the stupid footballers, but sad. Yeah. Okay, now that I've gotten 2 magnets out, I can chillax a bit here. I say chillax a bit here, but they're advancing very quickly. I'm gonna do something weird. Generally, you don't see that because you want to focus on getting this gloom out. These are pretty terrible examples, actually, of this first flag being good. You do still pumpkin the same way you would pumpkin the gloom that's not pumpkin. Get another magnet out, and of course the bucket or the footballer in response. It's going to be fast, but it's not necessarily like, going to be comfy. This gloom is, like, almost dead, is what I mean, pretty much. But it is fast, so I can't complain. This won't even be the fastest second flag we've had today, which is ironic because of the newspaper aspect. I promise, newspapers are good. You just have to have the proper setup for it. 141 is still pretty insane for a second flag, though. But again, with a slow first flag like the one I got, it's generally more expected that you get a faster second flag like that. Again, the cones in the middle are gonna be less of a priority here. I'm still gonna pumpkin in the middle because that's the one gloom that doesn't have one. But it's a less priority there because of the fact that it is the most protected with all of the offense around it. This is a squash. Yeah, so just always be looking at column towards column 9. I'm gonna get another magnet. Okay, good decision. And I'm gonna gloom bottom because, of course, I have to. There's another. These are really good footballer spawns, actually. Can I get another one? Oh, wait, 9. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is actually really nice. I'm gonna aggressively gloom that because I know that this guy's gonna be the last one to die. Here, we can doom this and have a squash here. Look at that. So, yeah, really good stuff to see. I'm actually gonna cherry this now because I see the vaulter. How did you live? As you can see, that was pretty fast. 137. Thank you, footballers. And again, let's hopefully get more footballers here, shall we? Please. I'd love to get more footballers. And I'm not freaking out about a lot of these paces because a lot of them aren't actually world record pace, which is what I generally am going for when I look for these. I've had several world record paces die to, or sub 9 paces, I should say, because world record is actually like really hard to beat now. Medium on this, yeah. Sub 9 paces, I've had many of them die to some pretty dumb stuff, but I am also heavy resetting for it, for the good first flag and the good second flag. So it's you know, a bit of a struggle to get there sometimes, but you know, the grind is real. That magnet's dead. Yeah. That's the struggle with having vaulters and metal, because vaulters generally just kill your magnets, and it's just really upsetting. Stop killing my magnets. Get out of my way. I did that pretty well. That was a good dance tech. 134. Yeah, look at that. 134. Let's hopefully be able to match this time with the 5th flag, because the 5th flag hypothetically is the fastest, because you have the most setup for it. What? That is so bizarre. How do you land that thing? All of those cones died really fast. And there's only footballers here. So that's 5. That's 6. So, again, with only footballers, you don't have to delete your magnets and plant new ones. Actually, might. So that's the closest that I've been to a, well, that's not the closest, but that had potential to be a 90x. Another one cone preview. Let's see if we can actually get a good one, please. I haven't gotten a good one. And I will subtract 2 seconds from this final IL timer here, but I can't subtract it from the actual run. But if I wanted to say that this was an IL, then I could subtract that rake time. Actually, I don't think I could. I think for the purposes of the fact that, like, if I get a rake world record, then I could, but... Why are you dancing? Okay. So, with all of the things in mind that I've said over the past 9 attempts, let's just do one. Let's just do one straight. Again, here, best option, on top. Mine here. You're glooming here. This is awkward. I really don't like squashing this, because it much decreases the chances of getting a mower kill here. Damn. You just have to take this roll. Even... I hate this. Blue. So, there it is. You try to dance to make them a bit faster as well. Yeah, this is bad again. Just, I've gotten absolutely terrible spawns both times for the one cone previews. Unfortunately. Can't show off an actually good one. This is 7, I can wait. This is 8. Yeah. As you can see, this is not only slow, but it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be, this one's gonna be the worst. Not only is it slow, but that pumpkin needed to be repaired. Yeah, that's the worst first flag. So again, normally those are good, but you do have to reset for, like, the good spawns generally. This is the select without sunflower. I already have 20 sunflowers, so I'm not bringing sunflower here. One thing is that that pumpkin might actually be a mistake because of the fact that I don't have a gloom here for a while because of this no pumpkin here. I'm gonna wait for this magnet to get used before it's tossed away. You squash here. This is where you get the gloom because the pumpkin's coming off cooldown now, and then you pumpkin, and then you're fine. You get a repeater here. You get a repeater here, and then you're fine. You might have to stall the repeater. No, I don't. Get another magnet in preparation for more pocket. But this will be pretty slow because of how many cones I'm seeing. This might actually be the worst attempt. This might actually be the worst one in general. But if I had seen a lot of these spawns for the one cone earlier, then I would have just reset them. So just a little bit of sight into that, I guess, if you will. A bit of insight into what I would do if I were IL grinding, actually. The second flag is good, though, because of the first flag's faults. I was going to plant that coffee bean, but then I didn't. Because I thought about it. Yeah, that's a good second flag because of the bad first flag. That's generally how it goes. And again, here I'm not bringing sunflower extra, so you can just get extra sunflowers. I'm not getting any extra sunflowers, so you get to see an attempt without me bringing sunflower for no reason. Other than to get, like, way too much sun. I should have... Okay. That should have been a squash, like, immediately, but I didn't see it immediately. Okay. Again, because there's a crater here, I'm going to doom here, which means I'm blooming bottom. Now this is where things do get a bit scary here, a bit dicey, if you will. Because of the fact that now I have, like, pumpkins off cooldown here. And it's basically just, you're basically fighting for your life. This is so sad. I thought that this was the only conehead. That's another thing, is that slow coneheads lose you the most time in this category, really. Slow coneheads and dancers. What did I miss? Are you kidding me? This guy's... that's what I guess that's what you dance for, huh? Again, and this third flag is bad, so this is easily the worst attempt so far. But I'm kind of running out of steam here a bit. I've been playing this category, this level a lot. So this should be sub 1. This will be easily sub 140, but or actually easily sub 135. So I don't actually know what this will be in terms of the grand scheme of things, but the actual run itself should be okay. Now here I'm gonna get Torchwoods because at this point the Torchwoods are like, the Torchwoods are past due actually, but they should have been planted. They should have been planted ages ago, but I never really had the chance because I had to plant out magnets and blooms and repeaters and other stuff. And I didn't get my repeaters out until the last flag, so. But yeah, again, this is just like the worst attempt because it's slow. I wasn't given any recovery flags, like newspaper flags or anything like that. There's not really any redeeming qualities to this, aside from the fact that it's really safe. But I don't think I would constitute that as a redeeming quality, really. But now the setup is basically complete. I have to get the 5th gloom, and I have to bring gloom stuffs for the flag 5, but other than that, well, I might not have to. Bring copper bean. That was actually a good flag. Like, that was the first good flag of this entire level. This is actually an interesting thing I should talk about. Is double bucket preview. This might actually kill me. Not kill me, but it's gonna be really slow. So the double bucket preview does mean that we might have to do some weird magnet stuff if we run out of magnets. Like there was 3 buckets in that wave. I'm gonna try to focus hard fire on that bucket. Okay, never mind, it didn't work. But like here, for example, I'm out of magnets. Literally out of magnets. So you can either wait, I can shovel this one and replant it, and have another magnet really very quickly ready. So it's just like a little thing. You have to do it on a magnet that's already used, that's already been used. Otherwise you won't be able to, and if it doesn't get used immediately, it's kind of worthless. So it's a little, very small tech, but when it works, it works. I might actually miss this guy. Okay, it didn't. Yeah, so. And for the finale, here we go. Probably a couple minutes slower than Paha, but that's okay. There's the final level. Yep, 134.41. I don't actually know what that is. Let me check. double check. Because I'm pretty sure it's a category, it's obviously a category extension, but... Hmm. $10X? Where's the X10s? Oh, wait. X10, there it is. 133. Okay, so I'm third place. Y and B is a minute faster. Okay. Yeah, so I think one thing to consider here is that my average is about... let me look at... The average is not going to sit there. But the average, I can add these together, and my average is probably around... let me look at this, actually. Oh, let me insert the splits. There you go. My average is about 935-ish, I'd say. Maybe that 912 brings it down a bit. That's 921, 927, 934, 938, 929, 930, 917, 937. Yeah, so about 929-ish is around the average, I think, for me. Paha's average is obviously a bit better, and I believe Paha got some OX. He got an OX, but more 2Xs and more 1Xs than I did. I got more 3Xs, so yeah. Anyways, yeah. that's my survival day normal guide, I guess.